Here's why your client is ignoring your emails, dodging your phone calls, and leaving you in the dark, and how to fix it today. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why clients go silent, but more importantly, how to get them to engage, respond, and actually collaborate with you. You're following up, sending updates, and then silence. If this happens, you'll waste time, miss deadlines, and watch projects stall. The fix? A simple system I called the engagement loop. It's designed to help keep clients involved, help them make decisions faster, and actually get them to respond when you need them to. So let's get into it. The first thing we need to understand is why they're ghosting us in the first place. Most people think clients ghost them because they're too busy, but that's not the real reason. And if they're ghosting you, you've already lost control of the project. You send an email, no reply. You follow up, still nothing. Suddenly, your deadline's creeping and your client's gone MIA. Sound familiar? Well, here's the problem. Clients disengage when they feel overwhelmed, unclear, and disconnected from the process. You get put in the too hard basket. And when this happens, you end up scrambling. I use this engagement loop process with all the marketing managers and producers we work with, creating pop-ups, brand activations, and events for some of the biggest brands in the world. It's a simple 7-step process that eliminates ghosting and keeps your project on track. And I reckon you can probably use it with your clients too. Step 1 is to control the flow of communication. If your clients dictate the flow of communication, you're setting yourself up for a disaster. Here's how to flip the script and take back control. So many people think that sending more follow-ups is the answer. It's not. The real issue is that when communication is sporadic, the client loses focus. They get sidetracked, and before you know it, they stop responding. Instead of chasing, you need to control the rhythm. I found the best strategy is to use a structured communication cadence. Predictable scheduled check-ins that keep clients engaged without overwhelming them. And here are the 3 things I do to pull this off. Firstly, I set communication expectations up front. Before the project even starts, we set the schedule of communication so the client knows when they're going to get their regular updates. The second thing I do is create a single source of truth. Now, what I mean by this is I keep all of the information and communication records in one place. This could be a shared dashboard, an email thread, or even a project tracker. That way, I can make sure that nothing gets lost. And thirdly, I end every meeting with clear next steps. Always confirm what's needed from them so that there's no ambiguity. The biggest mistakes I see people make here is relying on clients to reach out to them when they have an update. Not going to happen. The next one is sending long, complex emails instead of concise messages with actionable steps. And then the last one is not putting together a follow-up email after your meeting so that everybody's aware of who is doing what and by when. This keeps everybody on the same page. Control the flow and you'll never get ghosted again. Step 2 is to leverage social proof to keep them engaged. During any pitch process, clients are going to trust what other people say about you more than what you say. Here's how to go about keeping your clients engaged. People feel safer making decisions when others have done it successfully. If a client starts second-guessing things, it's probably because they lack confidence in the process. So here's what you can do to help build that confidence up. Firstly, reference past success stories. We did something similar for client X and it worked brilliantly. You can even provide them with a client testimonial mid-project. Even a simple, here's what client X said, can ease some of their nerves. And lastly, it's so good to share visual proof. Showing past activations or results are going to reassure clients that they're on the right track. One of the biggest mistakes I see is assuming that clients remember your track record. They don't, so remind them. People trust results, so use them to keep clients confident and engaged. Step 3 is to make decisions easy for them. Ever send a client 5 options only to get nothing? Here's what happens and how to fix it instantly. Clients don't ghost you because they don't care. They ghost you because they're too overwhelmed and they don't know what to do next. If your email requires them to think too much or make complex decisions, they'll get stuck. And that's where the silence starts. The key? Reduce friction. Simplify decision-making so clients can respond quickly without feeling overwhelmed. And here's a little framework you can use to do this. Firstly, never give open-ended choices. Instead of let me know what you think, reframe that to option A is best for budget, option B is best for impact, which works. Next, try to use visuals over text. A simple mock-up or sketch is a faster process than paragraphs of explanation. And thirdly, always set a response deadline. Give them a simple, low-pressure deadline. This can be something as basic as, let's confirm this by Friday to stay on schedule. Make it easy for them to say yes, and you'll never have to wait weeks for a reply. Step 4, create micro commitments. If a client isn't engaging in small steps, they'll disappear when it really matters. Here's how to keep them invested from start to finish. The biggest mistake, expecting clients to actively engage without pulling them in. If they don't have skin in the game, they'll vanish when you need a critical approval. They've got a million other things going on, and you are just one piece of the puzzle. So the trick is to create micro commitments, small, low effort actions that keep them mentally and emotionally invested in the project and give them small wins along the way. Here's a really simple way to do this. Ask for a simple early input. Something as simple as, what color would you prefer? Gets them invested. Then setting up mini approvals. Instead of waiting for a big sign off, break it into phases. Here's the draft of this section of the custom build. All good to move forward? And then make sure you keep them in the loop. Regular process updates make them feel part of the process, not just an observer. Engage clients, don't ghost. Give them small wins and they'll stay involved. Step 5 is set boundaries and expectations early. Ever had a client disappear on you and then come back last minute demanding last minute changes? Here's how to prevent this before it even starts. Clients ghost when they don't fully understand how the process works. If they think they can delay responses and everything will get done on time, they'll keep doing it. Then, when they suddenly need something, you're stuck firefighting. So to solve this, you need to establish firm boundaries and expectations up front. That way, the clients know exactly what to expect and when, and what happens if there's delays. So here's 3 things that are worth discussing with them. The first one is defining response times. This could be something as simple as, for us to meet your deadline, we need an answer within X days. The next one's to discuss consequences to delays. Now, this shouldn't be a threat in any way, shape, or form. This is purely an education process to help them understand what happens when deadlines get missed. So just make it really super clear for them. If feedback is late, then the deadline might shift, or this element might need to change. And then you want to get written acknowledgement of all of this. Whether it's an email or formal agreement, get them to sign off on the process. One of the biggest mistakes I see happen all the time is assuming that the client knows your workflow process. Most don't, if any. Set expectations early and you won't be left scrambling if clients go MIA. Step 6 is use strategic urgency. If there's no urgency, there's no action. Here's how to get your clients to prioritize your project over everything else. Your project isn't the only thing on their plate. If there's no reason to act now, they'll push it to the bottom of their list. And suddenly, you're the one trying to chase information. If we can find a way to use strategic urgency to get clients to act sooner rather than later, we're all going to be in a better spot. You can do this by explaining the connection of decisions to outcomes. If we can confirm this today, we stay on track for X. We can also create soft deadlines. This could be something like, we need a response by Friday so that we can move on to the next stage. And another tool we can use is to use scarcity. If it's applicable, highlight time-sensitive resources. This could be something like, our supplier only has this amount of time available to us. So we'll need to look for another option to suit the design if we can't get an answer back on this by Friday. The biggest mistake I see people make here is when they're too vague. Clients need clear, specific reasons to act. Tell them the why. And step 7 is to always have a backup plan. What if a client ghosts you in the middle of a project and you've done everything you can to contact them? Here's your safety net. Even with the best systems, clients still drop the ball. And the biggest mistake people make, not having a plan for when things go off track. Instead of panicking, have a contingency plan. So if a client does disappear, you're not scrambling, not knowing what to do next. Here are a couple of small things you can do to prep yourself in case this happens. The first one's to build in some buffer time. Expect some delays and factor this into your timeline. Number 2 is to have a pre-approved plan B. If they don't respond, have an alternative ready. So this could be something like, if we don't hear back from you by X, we will proceed with default option. And the last one's to use final call emails. Shoot them a last reminder. To stay on track, we'll move forward with X unless we hear otherwise by Y. A strong backup plan ensures that even if your client does ghost you, your project isn't going to suffer. What to do if a client ghosts you? You've been chasing your clients, but they're still not responding. How do you get them back on track fast? Even with the best systems, sometimes clients slip. And a mistake a lot of people make is panicking, sending desperate follow-ups, or going silent themselves. This is when you need a strategic re-engagement message. A simple, structured way to pull them back in without sounding needy. Firstly, acknowledge the silence. Hey client, I know things are busy, but I'm just checking in on specific item. Then give them a gentle push. If we don't confirm by Tuesday, we're going to run into some delays. Let me know on how you'd like to proceed. And lastly, we can offer them a path forward. If still no response, send a pause message. We'll hold off until we hear from you. Just let us know when you're ready. So if you want to keep your clients engaged and stop chasing unanswered emails, try implementing some of this engagement loop process to see if it will work for you. Let's do a super quick recap. So number 1, control the flow of communication. Number 2, leverage social proof. Number 3, make decisions easy for them. Number 4, create micro commitments. Number 5, set boundaries and expectations early. Number 6, use strategic urgency. And number 7, always have a backup plan. Ghosting happens when clients feel lost, overwhelmed, or uncertain. But when you take control and lead them through the process instead of reacting to it, everything changes.